Greetings, players. After releasing my YouTube video, Connect 4 Winning Basics, I decided it might be a good idea to play some online games against real people. So I can prove that the strategy and techniques I discussed in my video actually work in real life. So let's go, and I will try to comment as we go. Disclaimer, I'm not a pro streamer, so thinking and talking at the same time might be a little difficult for me. I'm not great at multitasking, politely saying. But it's going to be interesting anyway. Right. So I play as player 2. And my task is actually to defend myself and not let player 1 to establish odd roll threats, which will actually give him an opportunity to win in the endgame. Odd row threats are threats in row 3 and row 5. Row 1 actually doesn't really count because you should really be paying attention to something else, not the game to lose there. Right, so far so good. This threat for player 1 is irrelevant. And actually we are going to create a threat here in row 4, which is going to become a winning threat for us. If our opponent survives so far. Which I doubt a little bit. So we attack here. Here. And yeah. We have created a trap, and thus we actually got forced win. Next. It's nice to get a force win, you know, by creating traps, but when you are playing against strong players, it's not a good strategy because they will block your threats, and if you have spent some space, you are not going to create some endgame threats. And then your, let's say, victory is kind of questionable. Right. Now I'm player 1. As player 1, always move to the center column. Player 1 has an advantage, first move advantage, but it's only when he plays in the center column. Any other spot actually wastes this advantage. Okay. So here I created odd row threat, which actually is a winning threat for player 1, but I managed to create a trap as well. So see here and here. It's just a nice bonus, you know. Hmm. Well, it's a pity this player departed. I actually had some hopes for good games. Right, center column again. Okay, so our opponent let us to create this shape. I call it comma. Actually, it's a very promising shape or pattern for player 1 because it lets us create a thread here in row 3. Well, we don't really even need to do so. It's going to be a bit easier than I thought in the beginning. So here we have a thread in row 3. We will block our opponent from undercutting it. So this thread is surviving. Right. Okay. Let's just finish this game quickly. Yeah. Let's try to find some other players. A little bit more interest in the game. And yeah. All right. This is an interesting situation. Normally, threads in odd rows, like the row 3, actually are irrelevant for player 2 in the endgame. But if we let this game to go to the endgame stage, I will win as player 2 here or here because I have 2 threats in the odd rows. But actually we've got express win again. So yeah. Nothing to see here. We are playing as player 2. So my opponent actually allowed me to grab this spot. And I will also occupy this one. So it's already a winning situation for me. Now even more so. I have even threat here. And as the game progresses, my stones will be here as well. So in the end of the game, I will be winning either here or here. And it all depends just on where you're constructing your threats. And it changes depending on who's moving first. Basically, who you are, player 1 or player 2. Just to avoid any misunderstanding, when I say player 1, it's a player who moves first. Player 2 is the one who actually plays second. My opponent have hoped for a stupid mistake from my side, playing here, which I'm not going to do. And so the victory is ours. Rematch? Nice. One of most popular openings. Looks good for players too, but it's really not great. My opponent blocked me from establishing a threat here in the odd row, but now I can play like this. And he can't block this spot, because I will play a double threat. Yeah, that's the correct answer. But in this situation, my opponent actually has lost all the control over this game. Look here. Forced move, forced move. And because of this shape, these two spots, either of these, actually gives me a threat here in row 3. And as a player 1, that's all I need to win. So now we are going just to fill all the irrelevant columns till my opponent understands that he has no choice. He will have to play here, right below my threat. It's always nice to have, alright, to have won, by creating traps, so-called forced wins. But still, endgame threats, they do deliver, especially against strong players. Okay, as expected, we won just because of this threat. Rematch? Nice. I'm using this opening because, well, despite being rather passive, it's just less known to most of players. Now I already established a winning position because these threats are just waiting for me. This threat for my opponent, who's it player 1 in this game, this threat is irrelevant. It's not going to work. But this one will. My opponent really wants me to play here, so he will place his stone above it and get a threat here in row 3. Nope, not this time. Alright, so endgame winning threats are here or here. Row 2, row 4. That's not a good idea to play anywhere except central column as player 1. Let me prove my point. Okay. Yes. It seems that my opponent in a previous game just understood what it's. After, giving me a second row threat, it's not worth to continue. Thus, I'm grabbing this spot in row 6, because if player 1 fails to establish a sustainable threat in one of these rows, then this spot actually is going to win me the game. I will have a horizontal threats here. It's just, by filling columns just step by step, I will always end up here. Player 1 must be really active. He or she must actively seek for an opportunity to create threat in odd rows. Because if he fails, if that doesn't happen, player 2 in most cases wins. It's just easier to establish threats like in row 6, in row 4, even without not knowing much about this game. So you see, I already have a threat in row 6. And now we're approaching the endgame section. Now moves become forced because there is not, enough areas you can to move. Okay. Unlike some other YouTubers, I'm not going to promise that I'm going to win every game I play. Because first player one, always have a first move advantage. And if I play with a strong opponent and I do everything right, I will lose anyway, regardless. But that's a part of a game. Player one attacks, player two tries to defend himself. Let's see if I succeed. Yeah, let's take this spot. I have a minor threat here, which is useless in the end game, but it will it is going to help us to create an odd threat here. It wasn't a bad game. It was a smart opening. As I mentioned before, even if you do everything right as a player too, player one still has an advantage. Well, he deserves it as well. Up, up we go, taking as many spots as we can in the center column. All right. Let's play here. So I don't do anything stupid while talking here. Missing. Just direct attack here. Okay. So we have a threat here. And well, I don't see anything really important and dangerous from my opponent's side. Let's equalize the rows so we have even spots or even cells in every column. It's a little bit easier to play without paying much attention. So now I just place every stone I play right above my last opponent's stones. So always just above it. Pretty safe strategy. Boring as hell, but it delivers. So we have thread here, and this is the result. Alright, welcome back. Oh, this is another interesting opening. And we play here. I will discuss openings, well, at least most interesting of them, in my next YouTube videos, so we can analyze them and just discuss why we should play, where we play, and we create odd row thread in row 3, and basically that's it. Now we wait. Good game. It's all good. It's just, well, my opponent has a problem. It doesn't really know how to play this opening, which I'm actually forcing on. Alright. Let's play here. What I'm going to do, what I will try to do, is to establish my threads in row 4. Because I don't really see how my opponent can create a winning endgame thread below it. Actually, fine by me. But he definitely has some understanding about the game. When this guy learns some openings, he will be good. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay. Even thread here, even thread here, nothing below. We are good. Right. Let's play this opening again. Hmm. Alright, that's new. And I believe you noticed. Again, we managed to create a threat in a row 3, which for us, as player 1, is just a winning endgame threat. Alright, level 43. That might be interesting. Hmm, any move? At all? Hmm, yeah. Let's play a couple more games and I think we can call it day. Wow. Level 198. This guy must be living here. Yeah, we played before. It doesn't really like me. That's a good opening. I mean, for my opponent. Okay. I just lost my attention at all. I just missed this. Crap. Sorry. Just being dumb. As I said, I'm not a streamer. Grabbing threat in row 3, or row 2, excuse me. Uh, yeah, we are more or less done here. Let's create some additional thread here in row 6. Just to win this game faster by one move. Fantastic. There is just no way around this. Thanks for not wasting our time any longer than necessary. Alright, let's play one more game and we are done for today. This is another... Damn. Come on, man. Really? Alright, guys. Thanks for your attention. That's all for today. We took place second place already. That's all for today, and I hope you learned something.